Hi, and welcome to JPK Cooks. Alright, so today we're going to be making pork meatballs and a tomato sauce to go with it. Okay, very simple dish. If you don't eat pork for whatever reason, you can always get some lamb sausages, some beef sausages, or there is some really nice Italian sausages on the market that don't contain pork. And again, merguez sausages as well, which is a nice spicy sausage as well. So we're just going to take the meat, we're going to start by taking the meat out of the pork sausages, which is very, very simple. So you literally just slide like that and it just comes out, and that is how simple it is. Some sausages aren't as simple to take the meat out, but you just cut them open along the skin. And I've got about 8 sausages in there, and to that we're going to add some dried oregano, about a teaspoonful of dried oregano, a teaspoon or so of black pepper. Again, it's up to you, sort of preference really. And then a teaspoon of paprika. And we're also going to add a couple of cloves of garlic. Don't need to peel the garlic if you've got a garlic crusher. That's why I love garlic crusher so much, because you don't even need to peel it. There you go, just crush that straight in. There we go. We're just going to add some fresh herbs to this. That in. Okay, and then just get rid of stalks there. It's so important that when you get into cooking that you get yourself a little herb garden. Really low maintenance, obviously cost effective as well, and just makes such a difference to your cooking. And finally, I'm just going to add some breadcrumbs. Some homemade breadcrumbs. Just put them in your food processor. Doesn't take a minute. Probably about 50 to 100 grams of breadcrumbs. And you might need to add more after, but just it's up to you. You just need to test the consistency of that. Okay. And what do you want to be left with is something like that. You know, it's a homemade dish, so you know you don't have to have it kind of restaurant quality. So it's quite sticky, still quite sticky. You can always use a little bit of water. I'm not going to do that today, but you can always use a bit of water. Just dip your fingers in a bit of water, and that kind of helps to get a much more even roll, much more even meatball to that. See how easy that was? Okay, now we're going to move on to making the sauce. Okay, right, so let's have a look at our ingredients and see what we're going to be using today. So, we've got 2 tins of chopped tomatoes, we've got 1 large onion, we've got some garlic, 2 cloves of garlic, so 3 cloves of garlic we've got there, 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, we've got our seasoning, our salt and pepper, we've got some balsamic vinegar, some extra virgin olive oil, we've got some herbs, some thyme, some rosemary, and we've also got a pint of stock. Okay, so let's start, shall we? We're going to start by chopping our onion. Okay, so now we want to slice the onion across, width of it, to the back, to the root, but not all the way. So you want to still keep it together. Okay, and now we just do our down action with our fingers and our thumb. Thumb holding the onion, fingers down, and then we just chop, just like that. Our onion's now chopped, so we've got beautiful diced onion there now. So we're going to get that in our pan and start bringing this dish together. And we're going to put 2 tablespoons of olive oil in there. Right, so we've put one piece of onion in there just to make sure that the oil's nice and hot. Okay. So we just get a spoon out and move that around. Let's get those onions, just get them going. And then this is what we call tossing. So you're tossing the onions in your pan, but if you can't toss, don't worry about it. Just use your spoon to move it around. Okay, so you just need to fry those for 2 minutes. 2 minutes just for them to take on a little bit of colour. Right, we're going to add our garlic now. Now, it's really important that when you buy a garlic crusher, that you get a garlic crusher that is seamless. It just has one piece across here, not a piece, then a joining piece, and then the end bit. You need it to be one piece seamless across there, so when you're crushing, it doesn't bend and it's really, really strong. If you don't have a crusher, invest in a crusher. I'm putting this garlic in without peeling it. It just makes life so much easier. Just pop it in there like that, and then straight into your pan. It's very simple, just like that. In it goes. There we go. And just get your knife and just cut it off like that. Perfect. That's one. And there you go. All we're left with is the shell. I've got two smaller ones here, so I'll just put them both in. Shells on. And just get that straight into the dish. Just like that. Okay? Perfect. Now this sauce is great because you can use whatever, once you've got your tomato sauce made, you can use cream cheese, you can use mascarpone cheese to build a sauce. You can put your meatballs in there so you can fry your meatballs off, or you can put the meatballs in raw straight into the pan. It's up to you, it's entirely up to you. You can see that's kind of become a bit translucent, a little bit of colour there, a bit of caramelisation. So yeah, no, that's absolutely perfect. Right, we're ready to add our tomatoes now. So we just put our tomatoes in. Go 1, 2. You can just use chopped tomatoes from a tin, absolutely fine. Nothing wrong with those at all. Using tin tomatoes is a really quick way to make a really nice sauce. Okay. So we're just going to add our 2 tablespoons of tomato paste into that. And we're just going to mix that tomato paste in there. Perfect. Okay. Right, we're going to add some seasoning, so we're going to add some salt. And we're going to add some black pepper as well. Okay, now I like to use sea salt. This isn't crushed because it will just melt down in the dish, but sea salt is a much better salt. If you're going to use salt, sea salt is a much better salt because the sodium levels are much lower and it's much more healthy salt. And don't forget as well, in a dish like this, you know, you don't have all the preservatives or the salt and all the sugar that you get in a jar of ragu or the tomato sauce, you know, that you find on the high street. They've got lots of really, really poor ingredients in them. So I suggest, you know, doing this. Try this at home, why don't you? So one of the great things about this dish is that you can use things that you've got in your fridge. Some old tomatoes, some old onions even, or peppers. It's up to you. Okay, so I'm going to go to the fridge and see what I've got to use. Any old things I've got in my fridge. Okay, so I've got an old tomato that hasn't been used, and I've also got some pesto as well. So I'm just going to throw those in. I mean, that's the beauty of a dish like this, and that's the beauty of cooking at home. You can use whatever you want to put in the dish. Okay, so we're just going to chop this tomato up quickly. Okay. Bit of old pesto that I had, and that's just going to add flavour to it. It's just going to build on what the flavours are already there. And that's just going to enhance the dish. So already that's taken on a new kind of richness. You can see that colour. You can see it in there. Look at that. That looks absolutely divine. Nothing like home cooking. And as you can see, it's so easy. So simple. Right, now we're going to get some herbs into here. So I'm going to start off by chopping some fresh thyme. Okay, get rid of some of those stalks. And I'm also going to put in some fresh rosemary, okay? Okay, if you can't chop easily, just use the cross action, which is literally just placing your hand on the bottom of the knife there and using your other hand, so it's like a lever, and it just chops through, just like that. Really simple. Yeah, bring it together again, and then just go back again, cross over another time, across like that. Okay, right, perfect. Our herbs are ready to go in now. Right, our fresh herbs are going in. So today I'm using one of these stock pots. I haven't got any vegetable stock in the fridge, but if you've got chicken stock in the fridge, you can still use chicken stock in this dish. Absolutely. And on one of my later videos, I'm going to show you how to make stock, homemade stock, because that again is really simple as well, and it just adds another level to your cooking. All right, so I've got my stock, which I prepared earlier. So I'm going to pour my stock in. Right, so that goes in there. So we'll bring that to the boil, and then we'll turn that down and let that simmer. So a lot of people have been saying to me, Jay, why are you cooking? Why are you shooting your videos? Why are you showing people how to cook? Well, for me, I love cooking. I love eating. And I just want to show people that cooking can be fun. And you don't have to buy processed foods from the shop or buy takeaways or whatever it is. You can make your own food that's healthy, nutritious, cheap, so cost effective. And if you prepare well and you plan, you know, it doesn't have to be stressful at all. Our sauce is bubbling away now, so we're going to turn it down to a gentle simmer and leave it for approximately 20 to 30 minutes, but keep checking it periodically. So I've got myself a frying pan, and I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of oil into the frying pan. Let that get hot. So my oil's hot. I'm going to start placing my meatballs into the oil, and you should hear that sizzling. Never place things into a pan with cold oil, because it just sucks up the oil. It won't ruin your dish. Get that crispiness going on straight away. So these will take approximately 7 to 8 minutes maximum, depending on the size, of course. You can make them larger if you want. They'll take a little bit longer to cook, or you can just make them small and they cook quite quickly. But one thing you have to do is keep them turning. Just keep turning them. Okay, look. So there we go. They're starting to take on some colour now already. After just a minute. It's important not to add too much oil to your pan, because the pork meat has quite a lot of fat in it already. Right, so our meatballs all finished, looking absolutely delicious. I'm putting them on a bit of kitchen towel to soak up some of that excess fat. So now we're going to add these to our tomato sauce and start bringing that whole dish together. We've got our tomato sauce now. That's heated up. This is the tomato sauce that I made earlier, which is earlier on in the video. So that's all ready for the meatballs now. So I'm just going to pop the meatballs into that. So what I like to do is add Parmesan cheese to this now, because what it does, it kind of helps to thicken the sauce in a natural way, and it also adds flavour to it as well. So there we have it, homemade tomato sauce with sausage meat pork balls. I hope you enjoyed the video today, and look forward to seeing you on the next one. Take care, bye for now.